Part 1. When a button on your sweater comes loose, don't rush to sew it back the usual way. Let me show you a new stitching method. First, thread a green string through your needle. Push the needle up from the back side of the fabric and through the bottom hole of the button. And now push it down through the top hole that's opposite the first one. Bring the needle up again through the first hole. Next, push it down through the hole on the right. Bring it up through the hole on the left and then push it back down through the first hole once more. Tie a small knot and cut off any extra thread. Now it's time for the red thread. Push the needle up through the top hole of the button. Wrap the thread around the tip of the needle 3 to 4 times, then push it back down through the same hole. This red thread will form a little flower on top. Tie a final knot and trim the leftover thread to finish your stitch. You can use this same stitch to decorate the other buttons on your sweater too. So what do you think of this trick? If you like it, give me a thumbs up. When you're done, your button will not only be secure, but also look uniquely stylish. Part 2. Does your t-shirt have a small stain that won't come out no matter how many times you wash it? Don't worry, I'll show you a quick and easy fix. Take a small 4-hole button like this and place it right on top of the stain. Push the needle up through the first hole of the button. For the next stitch, push the needle down just outside the edge of the button, in line with that first hole. Then bring the needle up through the second hole next to the first one. Push it down again on the outer edge, straight across from the second hole. Keep repeating the same type of stitches to secure the button to your sweater. We are going to make 5 stitches like this in total. After you finish those first 5 stitches, bring the needle up through any hole in the button. Now, slide the needle under the red threads around the button. We are going to wrap all the way around it. Make sure each wrap sits neatly side by side without overlapping. Gradually, you will see the button fill up with red thread, forming a nice little round shape. Push the needle to the inside of the fabric and tie a knot to secure the stitch. Trim any extra thread. Next, use another color of thread to fill in the center of the circle. Just make diagonal stitches across the opposite holes of the button. A small cross shape in the middle is all you need. Tie a knot on the back and cut off the leftover thread. Finally, use green thread to make 2 tiny leaves for your flower. Use a simple teardrop stitch for each one. And there you go. The stain is completely hidden, and in its place you have a lovely little flower on your sweater. Part 3. Does your sweater collar look too plain? Let's give it a fresh little highlight. Start your first stitch by bringing the needle up from the back side of the fabric. Push the needle down right next to that first point, then bring it up again about 1 centimeter away. Before pulling the needle all the way through, loop the thread over the tip of the needle. Pull the thread to shorten the stitch, then push the needle down close to where you just came up to secure it. Next, bring the needle back up at the very first stitch. Push it down again beside it and bring it up a short distance away, slightly to the right. Loop the thread over the tip of the needle once more, then pull it tight and push it down to lock the stitch in place. Keep making the same kind of stitches 4 more times to form a flower with 6 petals in total. When you finish, push the needle to the back side of the fabric, tie a knot, and trim off the extra thread. Now take a thread in a different color and bring the needle up through the center of the flower. Wrap the thread around the tip of the needle 3 times, then push the needle down through the same spot and pull it gently to tighten. This will create the center of the flower. Tie a small knot to secure your work. And that's it. With just a simple stitch, your sweater collar now looks more charming and less plain. Part 4. Do you want to shorten your sweater sleeves but are not sure how? Let me show you an easy trick that does not require a sewing machine. First, fold the part of the sleeve you want to shorten outward and make sure the fold is straight and even. Bring the needle up from the back side of the fabric. Hold one end of the thread with your thumb, then push the needle down just outside the folded edge of the sleeve and bring it up again about 1 centimeter away. Pull the thread gently to tighten the stitch. Next, push the needle down into the first stitch, then bring it up about 1 centimeter forward. Loop the thread over the tip of the needle before pulling it through. Push the needle down into the second stitch and bring it up again at an even distance from the last one. Keep repeating these same stitches all the way around the folded edge of the sleeve. This stitch will hold the folded part securely to the rest of the sleeve. Just make sure your stitches stay even and consistent. By the way, where are you watching from? Leave me a comment below. Continue stitching until you have gone all the way around the sleeve. Once you finish, your sleeve will be nicely shortened and you will have a beautiful decorative border along the edge. Part 5. For the 5th tip, I will show you a simple embroidery stitch that you can use to decorate the collar of your sweater. First, use pink thread. Bring the needle up from the back side of the fabric and pull all the thread through to the front. Next, push the needle down right beside the first point and bring it up again about 1 centimeter away. Hold the thread and loop it over the tip of the needle, then pull it to shorten the stitch. Push the needle down close to where you just came up to secure that stitch. Now, bring the needle up again about 1 to 1.5 centimeters from the first stitch. Pull the thread all the way through to make the second stitch. Push the needle down and bring it up again, just like the first one. Push it down once more to secure the second stitch. Continue stitching the same way along the edge of the collar. When you finish, push the needle to the back side, tie a knot, and trim the extra thread. Next, use green thread to continue the embroidery. Bring the needle up about 1 centimeter away from the first pink stitch and pull the thread through. Push the needle down close to the base of the pink stitch. Then bring the needle up along the outer edge of that pink petal and push it down again near the base. Bring the needle up once more on the outer left edge of the pink stitch, then push it back down at the bottom to complete the first flower. Bring the needle up near the top of that flower to start the stem for the second one. Push it down again at the base of the second flower. Keep repeating the same stitches to create the rest of the flowers, forming a lovely chain of blossoms along the collar. When you finish stitching, tie a knot on the back and cut off the extra thread. To make the flowers stand out even more, use yellow thread to sew a center for each one. Use a simple straight stitch on up and one down for all the flower centers. With just a few easy stitches, you can turn a plain sweater into something beautifully unique. Part 6. Next, let's look at another method to shorten your sweater sleeves without using a sewing machine. Start by bringing the needle up from the inside of the sleeve, then push the needle down on the opposite side and bring it up again about 4 millimeters away. Push the needle down close to the first stitch and then bring it up again about 4 millimeters farther along. This will create 2 straight lines running side by side. Continue sewing the same way to form parallel lines all the way around the sleeve. Hold one end of the thread and gently pull it to tighten. As you pull, the stitches will gather together, shortening the sleeve while keeping the threads hidden on the inside. Keep stitching around the sleeve until you reach your starting point. When you are done, tie a knot to secure the thread and cut off any extra. And there you go. You have just shortened your sleeve neatly and easily without a sewing machine. Part 7. Using the same type of stitch from tip number 6, we can also use it to repair a tear in your sweater. Thread the needle and tie a knot at one end of the thread. Bring the needle up from the inside of the sweater. Then push it down on the opposite side of the tear and bring it up again right next to that spot. Push the needle back down close to where you started. Continue sewing along the tear using the same kind of stitches. This stitch will create straight parallel lines that connect both sides of the fabric together. When you reach the end of the tear, hold one end of the thread and gently pull it to tighten the stitches. This will close up the gap neatly. Push the needle to the inside of the fabric, tie a knot to secure your work, and trim off the extra thread. And that's it. The tear in your sweater sleeve is now repaired quickly and neatly with a simple but very effective stitch. And that's all for today's sweater tips. With just a few simple stitches, you can repair, decorate, or even completely refresh your favorite sweaters. No sewing machine needed, just a little time and creativity. If you enjoyed these tips, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment to let me know which trick you liked best, and subscribe for more easy DIY ideas. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.